Hey there, it's Jazz. If you're a freelancer or you're a beginner with no experience, today I'm going to break down how you can start making money, well, a lot of money on Fiverr, especially if you want to do some drop shipping or you want to sell your skills. You can make around $100 to $700 to $1,000 per day, and I'm not joking. Today I'm going to break down exactly how you can do that. I'm going to show you how other people are doing it, and to be honest, 1 year ago you probably only make around $5 to $10 a day, but because of the whole 2020 situation, we've been able to actually get more virtual assistants. On top of that, you're able to actually work from home, and you can get paid more on Fiverr than you can get working at an office through a 9 to 5 job. Now, I do use Fiverr for accounting services, but I didn't know that there are freelancers who actually also provide Amazon services until I got this DM from Amazon Virtual Assistant. He said, "Hi, I'm a VA for Amazon product hunting, product sourcing, product listing, and you get the whole jazz." I even went to his homepage and boom, and that's when I realized he sells his services on Fiverr. Now, let's say that you don't want to quit your 9 to 5 job and you're just looking to make extra money. The cool thing with Fiverr is that you really don't need to have a scheduled time. You can work as much or as little as you want. For example, let's say that you work 1 gig and for each gig they pay you $100. 31 days you can make $3,100 extra just by working on Fiverr. Not to mention, when I was going through the whole loophole of seeing different types of careers and paths that you can take on Fiverr, I realized that the more niche and more concentrated on a skill you actually get into, the higher pay you can actually make. And I will be giving you some examples of people actually making $1,500 for just 1 gig. And the cool thing about Fiverr is that it actually opens up the doors to people who are actually trying to go after their dream. Like, for example, music producers, even writers who love to just write blogs or even books, or even artists who actually like to paint and actually do whiteboard or YouTube editing or any of that good jazz. The cool thing about Fiverr is that you have a whole range of different skills that you can actually provide to different people, especially to entrepreneurs who, like myself, who doesn't even know how to draw or even produce a song. So of course, it's a good way to sell yourself and still make good money, and it opens up the doors to actually go after your dream instead of working in an office through a 9 to 5 job. Now, with that being said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. I do talk about making, saving, and growing your money, and I am an Amazon seller as well. So I would be extremely grateful if you followed the channel. But with that being said, let's get to it. Now, I do want to break this video down into 2 parts: how freelancers actually get their money, which will translate how you as a beginner with no skills can actually make money from this as well. Now, if I take you to my laptop, you will see that on their homepage, under the support, you will see that the whole concept of Fiverr is that it is between a seller and a buyer, right? You're selling your services and someone is buying it, and the buyer usually is like an entrepreneur or a small business who needs extra hands, but they don't have the money to pay for overhead or people to actually be working 8 hours a day. So this is the best thing about Fiverr, is that once you understand that it's between a seller and a buyer, right? The supply and demand. Now, if you don't follow me on TikTok, go ahead at meet.jazmin, but I have 200K, and it did take me a while for me to grow to 200,000 followers. So being able to actually hire someone on Fiverr is a great tool for helping me edit my videos, which I do all the work myself. But if you're someone who is a small business and actually needs to be able to have someone else edit your videos because it's time consuming, you'll see right here that someone is actually selling their services to grow your TikTok for $100, right? As you can see, they have a 5-star, 11 services sold, or 11 gigs sold. He gets to be on top, which is pretty cool if you ask me, and that's how you get your services. You have another person right here who's doing it at $90. This person has over 1,000 gigs, right? Right here. The cool thing about this is if you're a beginner and you haven't even sold anything, you can go ahead and do it for $10, $20, $75 right here. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's a whole different range of different services you can provide. So if you work in the IT or you have some computer engineering skills, you can actually provide this to entrepreneurs or small businesses with cybersecurity or data protection. Now, in 2018, when I was a project manager working at a glass company, we did have an accident where all of our drive and all of our information of different companies and projects were deleted and we didn't have a backup, right? So the owner had to actually pay for an IT to come and actually protect and give us a backup cloud. And that cost him between $500 to $1,000. So if you're able to actually provide this on Fiverr and be able to help small companies without you having to go in there and already have a cloud, and you know how to do that, then this would be such an amazing side hustle for you. Because if you look down here in the thing, you can actually start selling this for 500, 3,000, which is crazy because you are protecting the business files. And it's all about like payables, all like it has our invoices, it has our blueprints, it has all that information that we need to go ahead and actually protect. So if you're someone with IT skills, you can actually do this by $100, $500, $1,000, $200. The cool thing about Fiverr is that you just put out your services and people who are looking for that will find you, right? The only thing you have to market actually is being able to put a good picture and actually having good stars, right? Good ratings. As you see, I don't see any ratings here. Like for example, this one has 5 and it's pro verified, right? When you're pro verified, then other people can actually trust that you will provide the best service possible. But look at this, 1,200 for this service. So if you know anything about this can be such a great way for you to make extra income after your 9-to-5 job. Now imagine if you worked 8 hours a day and you made $100 per hour, you would actually be able to get $800 per day and not even have to work for the rest of the week. Now, if you have no skills and you're a beginner, I still have good news for you. You can still be making $90 to $700 on Fiverr without putting any work in, especially if you have zero skills. But I will say that I do want you to actually learn some skills. So that's another video, and I will check out Skillshare if you actually want to learn how to do that. But if you're a beginner and you really want to start making income, I got a little secret for you, and it's the oldest business model out there, and it's called drop servicing. Now, drop servicing just means, and it's like kind of like Amazon where you're doing arbitrage. You're buying someone's services and you're selling it to another person for a higher price. So let me explain. If you go to Upwork or you go to any other website that you're able to actually get services from India, Philippines, or the Vietnam, or whatever you want, Mexico, even right there, you can actually be able to use their services and pay $10 and then be able to resell it on Fiverr for a higher price. Now, the one thing that you do want to keep in mind is that if you're a beginner and you haven't sold any services on Fiverr, of course, it's going to take a while for you to actually get those ratings and have people click on your picture. But that shouldn't stop you, because this is something that you can actually do and start getting paid really fast if you know what you're doing. So for example, if you go to Upwork.com, you're going to be able to see that you have the connection to do freelancers from all over the world, right? From any country at any rate, the most relevant, whatever you want. But let's say that you actually want to do India, right? We can do the Philippines or India, but I like India a little bit more. And you're going to be able to see that you can actually pick your hourly rate. And this is important because if you're selling it for $100 to $90, you want to be able to make profit, right? So if someone's charging you $10 per hour, you want to be able to make that $80, $90 per hour as well. Now, since you have no experience on Fiverr, I would recommend for you to stay at $10 per hour and below, because you want to kind of like build that rating on Fiverr and that relationship with people who are actually buying your services. But once you start building that, you can go ahead and actually go $30 per hour, $50 per hour, and be able to provide a different type of service. Like for example, the security one, like cyber security, you know how it was like $500 per gig. You can actually be able to provide those services, right? But you don't have that traction yet, so it might take a little longer. So just do $10 per hour as a beginner, and you're gonna go ahead and click that, and we're gonna go ahead and it searched it up for me already. And as you can see, this lady will charge me $5 per hour from India if she does my Facebook ads, right? Or a graphic designer. If you want to start providing graphic design, for example, on social media, right? We're gonna go ahead and do graphic design, and let's do okay, what is he, let me go back to see what he's doing. Photoshop, right? We're gonna go ahead and look for Photoshop at graphic design, Photoshop editing, and he's charging me, I believe, $7 per hour. If he's charging me $7 per hour, right here, I can start doing mine for $30 per hour and make right there, how much? $23 per hour, just by doing nothing and actually having someone else do the work for me. And you can go ahead and see that this one also is starting at $100, but you can see that they have a pro verified, which means that you have to build up to get that pro verified too, and you have to also pick people and build that relationship with people outside of the country that you know will actually provide the quality that you're looking for, right? And this one is doing customer support expert, $9 per hour. Designer graphics right here, $7 per hour, $5 per hour for data entry specialist. 3D product modeling, you see, like for example with the 3D product, it would actually go back to what we were talking about with when it comes to doing your animation with your video and animation. You can do 3D product animation right here, and you're gonna be able to see that you can charge $50 per hour. You can charge $50 per gig, $50 per gig, $400 per gig for doing the 3D animation. So your limit to getting money right here is based on how much effort you want to put in there, finding the right person who can actually provide those services. But the cool thing about this is right here, you can actually see that he has done 227 jobs, 100% success, right? And that is exactly how you want to look at it. Like for example, this lady over here has 94% success, 68 jobs. So is it worth it? I wouldn't do it because I don't want to have that bad rating on my Fiverr, but that is exactly what job servicing is. Now, before you come at me and tell me like, Jazmin, this isn't ethical. Well, I used to think that way too until I started working at the glass shop, when I realized that everyone does this, right? Now, I used to work as a project manager and I used to work in a glass company. And if you don't know much about the construction world, we mostly work from Monday through Friday. We don't work on the weekends unless it's for a special occasion, like we're working at an airplane or a school where we need to work on those days. But the cool thing about that is that everyone had Saturday and Sunday off to actually just relax, right? So my boss actually had side jobs on the weekend, you know, like having your window replaced, shower doors, and there were so many that he couldn't do them himself. And of course, he was an older guy, so he would go ahead and talk to the employees. Now, the employees in the construction world are called foremen, and he would ask 2 or 3 of them like, hey, I would pay each one of you guys $300 if you go ahead and one of you guys go install a window, another one go install a shower door, and they all knew that my boss was getting $800, $900 per each side hustle, but they were happy that they had a job, right? That they were gonna make extra income for 3 to 4 hours of work. And that is exactly what happens here, right? This is the oldest business model that's ever been in our history. It just depends on the perspective that you have, because not only are you boosting the economy in India, but you're also boosting the economy in the United States, because you're also gonna get paid and you're gonna eventually use that money either on assets, or you're gonna be a consumer and go into the store and buy yourself a Louis Vuitton bag. So when you're doing this, you wanna look at it as a business owner, and you also wanna have business ethics. But they are providing their services online, so why not take advantage of it and actually be using it and doing job servicing, because this isn't going to be here forever, right? And while you are getting paid, you can actually use that money to actually reinvest in yourself and start learning skills yourself in case you can't do this anymore in the future. Now, I personally don't believe that they're gonna go out of business and that India is gonna stop wanting to provide those services to us. But I will say that it's like Amazon, right? You go ahead and find a product that is lower in price, and then you go ahead and resell it on Amazon. That's what I do. That's what other people do. And depending on your perspective, that might be unethical to the person who is buying it. But in reality, that's just how it all works, right? Businesses always buy products that are lower in price and they resell it to make money themselves. On top of that, they're providing jobs to other people. And you could be doing this 1 hour a day, or do this to pay off your debt. The whole goal here is to be able to actually make some money and be able to invest in yourself and be able to have food on the table. And if you think about it, if you sell 1 gig that's $100 and you have someone from India and you pay them $10, you're gonna make $90 of profit. Right there, if you work 8 hours a day doing that right there is $720. Now, of course, the whole thing with Fiverr, you want to also be able to rank #1. It's like YouTube and Amazon and all that good jazz. So just know that you can actually be doing this. You just got to put in the extra effort to actually get this established. But Hopefully I was able to provide you some value with the whole Fiverr concept. There's so much money and opportunity that you can actually get into when it comes to Fiverr. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Jazmin Bautista, TikTok, me Jazmin. But most importantly, remember, be someone that makes you happy.